What if I told you that centuries ago, a man predicted events so shocking, so eerily accurate, that even today, his words send chills down our spines? From world wars to natural disasters, Nostradamus' prophecies have left us questioning whether we're living in a pre-written script. And now, his predictions for 2025 are surfacing, and they're darker than ever. Could we be standing on the brink of chaos? Could the warnings of one of history's most mysterious prophets hold the key to understanding what's coming? Stay with us as we unravel Nostradamus' chilling visions for 2025 and reveal what they mean for you. Before we begin, if you're new here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on fascinating topics like this one. Also, let us know you're ready to face the future with positivity. Comment below with the affirmation, "I am prepared for what's to come." Let's create a wave of courage and readiness together. Nostradamus, a name that has intrigued humanity for centuries. Born in the 16th century, Nostradamus was a French astrologer, physician, and seer, known for his cryptic quatrains that many believe have predicted some of history's most pivotal moments. From the Great Fire of London to world wars and even modern events, his writings seem to transcend time, offering glimpses of what lies ahead. But what about 2025? According to interpreters, this year is marked by some of his most ominous warnings yet: global upheaval, natural disasters, and profound changes that could reshape the world as we know it. Are these predictions just coincidence, or do they hold valuable lessons for us today? Let's dive in and uncover the truth behind Nostradamus' prophecies for 2025. 1. The rise of global conflict. Nostradamus' predictions have often been mysterious, leaving room for various interpretations. One of the most alarming prophecies about 2025 points toward global conflict. His quatrains describe fire in the heavens, which many believe symbolizes intense warfare, potentially involving airstrikes, advanced weaponry, or even space-based technologies. Given the rapid advancements in military technology, such as drones, satellite surveillance, and hypersonic missiles, it's not far-fetched to think that these types of conflicts could become a reality in the coming years. The increasing presence of technology in warfare, such as artificial intelligence and autonomous systems, may lead to a new kind of warfare that is far more devastating and widespread than we've ever seen before. Moreover, Nostradamus also mentions the earth trembling under iron, which could be a metaphor for war tanks and other iron-based military vehicles. This suggests that ground combat might also be a central element in the conflicts he foresees. Nations around the world are not only modernizing their weapons systems, but also gearing up for the possibility of future warfare. With tensions rising between countries like the United States, China, Russia, and even smaller powers in the Middle East, it seems like we could be edging closer to this type of confrontation. Nostradamus' warning is clear. He envisions a world where military might and technological advancements lead to large-scale, devastating conflicts. Further fueling this notion is Nostradamus' reference to two great powers falling and a new third rising. Interpreters of Nostradamus' work often suggest that this could point to a shift in global dominance, where two current superpowers might experience a decline and a new one emerges in their place. We're already seeing some signs of this with the growing influence of China and its economic and military rise, challenging the hegemony of traditional powers like the United States and Russia. With countries continuously vying for economic, military, and political power, there is a real possibility that the world order could dramatically shift in the near future. If the current geopolitical tensions continue to intensify, this prophecy could come to pass in 2025, changing the global balance of power. As we see more nations rallying around their own interests, global cooperation is becoming increasingly strained. Trade wars, territorial disputes, and growing political divides among major powers are contributing to an atmosphere of tension and distrust. Whether it's territorial claims in the South China Sea or military standoffs on the borders of Europe, the world's most influential nations are increasingly finding themselves at odds. In Nostradamus's vision, these tensions may eventually spill over into direct military action, leading to an all-out war. The potential for cyber warfare, economic sanctions, and proxy conflicts also looms large, making the threat of conflict even more pressing. However, Nostradamus's quatrains are not entirely grim. While he often predicts destruction, he also speaks of eventual renewal and recovery. In his writings, there's a recurring theme of a phoenix rising from the ashes, symbolizing the potential for rebirth and positive transformation after dark times. Although the prediction of global conflict and shifting powers seems unsettling, it's a reminder that humanity is capable of resilience and recovery. If we take heed of these warnings and focus on diplomacy, peaceful resolutions, and international cooperation, we can work to prevent the worst-case scenarios from unfolding. Nostradamus' predictions, when understood correctly, offer a chance to address our current global issues and strive for a future of peace and stability. 2. Climate chaos and natural disasters. Nostradamus' prophecies about natural disasters and climate chaos are some of his most foreboding predictions for 2025. One of the most striking lines in his quatrains reads, "Floods that will drown nations, a chilling thought given the current state of the world's climate." With the ongoing rise in global temperatures, the melting of polar ice caps, and extreme weather patterns becoming more frequent, this prophecy feels closer than ever. The impact of climate change is already evident in many parts of the world, with catastrophic floods, hurricanes, and wildfires wreaking havoc on communities. What Nostradamus foresaw as a future threat may, in fact, be a reality we are rapidly approaching, with many scientists predicting that without immediate action, these types of disasters will only worsen in the coming years. Flooding, in particular, is a major concern for coastal cities worldwide. Rising sea levels and increasingly violent storms could submerge entire cities, leading to massive displacement of populations. The recent increase in natural disasters, from the devastating floods in Germany and China to hurricanes and typhoons that seem to grow stronger every year, mirrors Nostradamus' warning about the overwhelming power of water. In 2025, it's possible that these extreme weather events will intensify, further altering the landscape of human civilization. The rising frequency of catastrophic flooding and storms is not just a matter of theoretical prophecy. It is a real, present danger that requires urgent attention. In addition to floods, Nostradamus also warns of fires that will consume forests and cities alike. This prediction is particularly relevant as we witness an unprecedented number of wildfires ravaging ecosystems around the globe. From California to Australia, wildfires have become increasingly destructive, with entire forests and communities reduced to ash. As global temperatures continue to climb, the risk of wildfires spreading rapidly becomes more pronounced, potentially leading to widespread destruction of natural habitats and human settlements. Nostradamus' vision of fires consuming vast areas could very well align with the ongoing climate crisis, where prolonged droughts and heat waves create the perfect conditions for these uncontrollable blazes. The prediction of natural disasters is not just about the immediate destruction they cause, but also their long-term consequences. Nostradamus mentions a great famine that could result from failed harvests, a terrifying scenario that links directly to the climate crisis. With extreme weather events disrupting agriculture, crop failures have already become a growing concern. Droughts, floods, and changing weather patterns are damaging crops in many parts of the world, threatening food security for millions of people. In 2025, the combination of environmental disasters and agricultural collapse could lead to widespread hunger, particularly in vulnerable regions. This prophecy serves as a stark reminder of how climate change can have far-reaching and devastating effects on our food systems. While Nostradamus' predictions are unsettling, they also highlight the urgent need for action. Climate chaos, as foreseen in his writings, is already upon us, and if the current trajectory continues, the worst is yet to come. However, these prophecies also offer us a chance to take responsibility and make changes now. By addressing climate change through sustainable practices, renewable energy adoption, and international cooperation, we can mitigate some of the worst effects. The year 2025 may serve as a pivotal point where humanity either succumbs to the chaos predicted by Nostradamus or rises to the challenge, working together to protect the planet for future generations. Just as his quatrains have forewarned, the power to change our destiny lies in our hands. The fall of economies and financial turmoil. Nostradamus' writings also predict economic collapse and financial turmoil, with many experts believing that the year 2025 could mark a significant turning point. One of the most telling quatrains speaks of the great economic system collapsing, which resonates deeply in a world that is becoming increasingly vulnerable to financial instability. In recent years, the global economy has faced several shocks, from trade wars to the COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted industries, economies, and job markets worldwide. But Nostradamus' prediction may point to something even larger, a potential global financial crisis that could result in a complete overhaul of the existing economic system. As nations struggle with mounting debts, inflation, and increasing inequality, the stage is set for a potential economic collapse, the likes of which could have far-reaching consequences for every aspect of life. With the rapid growth of national debts, particularly in developed nations like the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, many experts warn that the global financial system is on the brink of instability. Central banks have been pushing interest rates to record lows and engaging in massive quantitative easing programs to keep economies afloat. Yet this may only be a temporary fix, as the underlying problems of economic inequality, inflation, and growing government debt remain unresolved. Nostradamus' warnings could be interpreted as a prophecy of an economic system that will no longer be able to support the weight of these global financial pressures. If this collapse occurs, it could trigger widespread unemployment, social unrest, and a shift toward new forms of economic governance. Nostradamus also predicts that this economic upheaval will cause a great loss of wealth, particularly among the middle and lower classes. The gap between the rich and poor is widening at an alarming rate, and economic crises have historically intensified these disparities. The loss of wealth, especially among ordinary people, could lead to protests, strikes, and social movements demanding change. In 2025, the financial instability predicted by Nostradamus could worsen, leading to a breakdown of social order as people struggle to make ends meet. With the increasing reliance on digital currencies, the destabilization of the traditional banking system could further complicate matters, creating a new kind of financial chaos where conventional wealth and savings become meaningless. The rise of digital currencies, while offering new opportunities, also brings with it the potential for cyber attacks, fraud, and financial manipulation on an unprecedented scale. Alongside the collapse of traditional financial systems, Nostradamus also alludes to the rise of alternative economies, possibly leading to a new world order in the financial sector. As the old systems crumble, there may be a shift toward decentralized systems, including cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies, which could offer a more secure and independent way of conducting business. This transformation in the global financial landscape could disrupt established power structures and create a new class of wealthy individuals and institutions that understand and navigate these emerging technologies. While this might bring some hope for innovation and progress, it could also lead to further divisions, with those who remain locked into outdated financial systems left behind. While the economic turmoil Nostradamus predicted might seem daunting, there is also an opportunity for change and recovery. Just as the destruction of old systems often leads to the creation of new ones, the financial collapse he foresees could serve as a catalyst for a more equitable global economy. However, for that to happen, significant reforms would need to be implemented to ensure that the benefits of new economic models are distributed more evenly across society. The year 2025 could be a crucial moment, not just for disaster, but for the rebirth of a financial system that prioritizes fairness and sustainability. Nostradamus's vision of financial collapse may, in the end, be a wake-up call to rethink the way we manage wealth, power, and resources in a rapidly changing world. 4. The rise of autocratic regimes and political instability. Nostradamus's predictions also seem to point toward the rise of autocratic regimes and widespread political instability in 2025. In several of his quatrains, he speaks of a world where leaders will become tyrants and where the masses will struggle against oppressive political systems. As we look at current global political trends, it's not hard to see how his words could be interpreted in the context of the growing trend toward authoritarianism in various parts of the world. In recent years, we have witnessed a shift in political landscapes, with more countries leaning toward authoritarian rule, with leaders consolidating power, silencing opposition, and curbing democratic freedoms. From Hungary to Brazil, and even in parts of the United States, the rise of populist and authoritarian leaders could signal the type of political environment that Nostradamus warned about, a time when personal freedoms and democratic principles are under siege. As political systems around the world become more polarized, the potential for unrest and instability grows. Nostradamus seems to predict that the power struggles between political ideologies will intensify, leading to widespread protests, civil disobedience, and violent uprisings. In many nations, citizens have already grown frustrated with the government's inability to address pressing issues such as economic inequality, climate change, and corruption. The growing divide between the rich and the poor, along with the perception that political elites are out of touch with the needs of the average citizen, could lead to massive protests and revolutions in 2025. Nostradamus hints at this rising tide of discontent, where people will be forced to challenge their governments, possibly through violent means, in an attempt to secure more power and freedom. Furthermore, Nostradamus mentions a new ruler rising from the East, which many interpreters associate with the growing influence of China and other Eastern powers. This could point to a shift in global leadership, where power moves from the West to the East, as nations like China continue to expand their economic, political, and military influence. As China emerges as a dominant global power, the Western world could experience a power vacuum, leading to instability within European and North American countries. The potential for conflict or competition between these rising powers and traditional Western nations could ignite tensions, leading to a series of geopolitical struggles that could destabilize the global order in 2025. Nostradamus's prophecy of a new ruler from the East suggests that the balance of power may tip, reshaping the future political landscape. On a more localized level, Nostradamus foresaw civil wars within countries, fueled by political extremism and ideological conflicts. This could manifest in nations already experiencing internal divisions, where long-standing political, cultural, and ethnic tensions reach a boiling point. Countries with fragile democracies, such as those in the Middle East, South America, and parts of Europe, could become hotbeds of civil unrest. As the political atmosphere becomes more volatile, these regions may find themselves embroiled in conflicts that threaten to destabilize their governments and cause widespread suffering. Nostradamus's warnings about internal strife suggest that 2025 could be a time of significant upheaval within nations, as the forces of authoritarianism clash with those pushing for democratic reforms and civil rights. However, amidst the political turmoil, Nostradamus also speaks of eventual renewal, a return to justice and peace after the storm of conflict. His predictions suggest that after the chaos of tyrannical regimes and political instability, the world may eventually find a way to restore balance and fairness. This could take the form of new political movements that challenge autocracy and push for greater democratic freedoms. The rise of global grassroots movements, championed by younger generations who demand accountability, could be the key to overcoming the political upheaval that Nostradamus foresaw. While the struggle for democracy and human rights may be long and difficult, the prophecy hints at the eventual triumph of justice and peace over oppression and tyranny. The challenge for humanity will be to navigate these turbulent times and work toward a more just and stable future. In conclusion, Nostradamus's prophecies for 2025 present a challenging and tumultuous future filled with natural disasters, financial turmoil, and political instability. However, they also serve as a call for change, urging us to take responsibility for shaping a more stable and just world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the future.